Hi there, welcome to our Student Spotlight series. Today we're speaking to Kevin Campbell, who is a first year robotics and intelligent devices student. Hi Kevin.
Hello, hi.
You're tuning in from County Kildare, a
Yeah.
great county indeed. Would you tell us please about a little bit about your background, Kevin, and how you are now in first year in Maynooth studying robotics?
Originally, I was a factory worker. I worked in dog food factories, meat factories, all kinds of nasty places. And I always kind of wanted more, but I was in a hurry to get out of school. So that was the cards I was dealt. And then I ran into trouble with my legs. And to be honest, it made it difficult to hold up a job, especially a physical labor job. So I fell behind with my rent, and then myself and my family we ended up homeless then. So for one night we had nowhere to go. We called the emergency homeless department, and they set us up for one night in Maynooth University. So what we did was we were there, and I was just looking at the place. I mean, the place is just magical in itself. I don't know what it is about the building, but my wife turned to me and said, well, why don't you do something here? Think of what she said was like, you always like planets and stuff like that. So why don't you maybe look into that?
You're interested in planets.
I love space, the planets. Like if you actually stop for a second and look up, it's like, whoa.
There's a big sky up there.
Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the grind of life and kind of forget what's up there. But I always loved that kind of thing. So I looked into it then, and there was so many options available, like so many different supports here. There was the Map Lodge for mature students and things like that. And
so you were applying as a mature student then, because you were over the age of 23, and okay.
Yeah, I was applying as a mature student, and I got on to Michael, who worked in the Map Lodge, and he was very enthusiastic as well. And so I went into my interview for astrophysics, and they decided that maybe it'd be best for me, who was out of school for so long, to do the certificate in science, which, to be honest, I don't regret at all. It was brilliant, and it really helped me kind of sample all the different sciences, all the engineering options I had, and I kind of got little drips and drabs and stuff of everything that I could have went into, and I got to work out my strengths and weaknesses. And I was really bad at physics.
So you had been a few years out of school, and as you say, you had been working in an area that you weren't entirely fulfilled by, or it wasn't working out for you. And so you decided you had that opportunity to stay on the South Campus, and it is pretty magical, all right. And then you wanted to apply as a mature student. And having been out of college for a while, they suggested that you study the certificate in science, which is a year-long course. Am I right? A year-long course, and it kind of prepares you, essentially gives you a chance to try out all the different areas of science and then maybe see what suits you best.
Yeah, exactly. And then I once I figured out that I was just kind of bad at physics, I was like, maybe I shouldn't go down that route because I could be over my head. And so then I decided to kind of look at more different options. And then I discovered I had robotics, and I was like, no way, that's so cool. So I contacted John Dooley in the engineering department, and he thought it would be a good idea to meet up and kind of discuss it. And we did. We actually ended up talking for hours.
Right.
Just about everything. And then he gave me a tour of the building, and I got to see all the cool things around the engineering building and the different projects that were going on, behind the curtain and things like that. And it was just, I was in complete awe. I was just like, a kid in a toy store. And it's just, my God. So I worked hard then, and I put in a lot of extra time into my maths, especially to make sure I did get into the course. And I did, luckily enough. And it's tricky at times, but I mean, I went from being a factory worker to I'm building robots at home now. I'm actually working on a project that I'm communicating with the lecturers through email, and they're giving me pointers and stuff and things I can do. But I mean, from I was just a worker, and now I'm building robots, and it's just.
Well, you're using a different part of your brain, I guess, isn't it? I mean, clearly the very cool blackboard you have behind you is a testament to how your maths has progressed anyway. It looks pretty impressive.
It's not all correct, though.
Well, guess what? I won't be the judge of that, that's for sure.
But some of it is, which is good. But yeah, I work on. Sorry?
No, sorry, Kevin. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, if you could just rewind a little bit to when you went to Map Lodge, and that's the mature student, the home of the mature student office, and so you found a lot of supports there. Could you tell us a little bit about some of the supports that you've been able to avail of, or that they provide?
Well, I have a map advisor currently, and he basically advises me, what if I'm struggling somewhere, he'll be able to find help in that. Like I can get maybe extra maths or something like that if I need, or I can get counselling services as well. He's basically my guide, and he helps me out with even budgeting. I can contact student budgeting services if I find myself in a fix, and they can figure out my finances and suggest the best route for me. So, the services that college just provide really covers me in a lot of aspects, and that's brilliant. Especially, I have a family and I'm a mature student. I've already things to worry about, like house, car, kids, and stuff like that. But the college it supports me in every way, so I can't argue at all.
So the Math Support Centre is an area that I think a lot of students avail of, maybe certainly within the science and engineering faculties, and it's not a drop-in service at the moment in the COVID context, but it's available online, I think now, is it?
Yeah, you can Microsoft Teams, and at various different times that you can actually log on and answer questions. The Math Support Centre in itself is like a lifeline for so many people, and usually as well, when you were able to drop in, they'd sit there with you until you got it, and if it's an assignment or stuff, they'll work around it as much as they possibly can, but they'll never tell you the answer. They'll dance around it so much, or they'll
that'd be too easy.
Yeah, let's try a different equation, and then you're like, is this the right answer? No, we can't tell you that.
But did you find, given that you started in the search in science, that you kind of had a ready-made group of friends in that? It was a small class group, I presume. Did they continue on in the university, or I guess I'm wondering about coming in as a mature student, and how easy is it to sort of settle down?
I was class rep in the certificate in science, so I really got to know everybody, and I've dished out my fair share of pep talks as well, when a lot of people thought that they just couldn't do it anymore. But I really got to know the group, and we're a brilliant group, and some of them have gone into psychology, some of them have gone into theoretical physics, bioscience as well. As one of the guys has gone into bioscience, and some other people have went to different places. But there's still a good few of us around campus that you can still wave to.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
And, you've got kids and everything else going on. Do you have any time for the clubs and societies side of the university?
Not usually, the clubs and societies, because usually they'd happen after 6 o'clock, and that'll usually be my time to get home and stuff like that.
Put on your other hat.
Put on the other hat, because the kids will never see me then.
Yeah, sure. So workload wise, just wondering about, I know you're repeating some modules this year, so you may have been in second year in effect, but with everything that happened this year in the COVID pandemic, what's the workload like though, say in first year, if you can just go back that far, how did you find that? How many hours were you spending?
The workload was a major jump up from the certificate in science, I found, and initially you're kind of like, oh, I have an assignment due here and here and here. It's like, oh wow, it's all in 1 week. So, but I did get into a kind of flow where okay, I have this one's due first, but this one's, this one, I'd kind of, really prioritize them. And I'd have to kind of, I guess I just prioritize them and stuff like that. But the workload really changed as well when since I've been in lockdown as well. It's kind of, it's a case where at any time of the day I can just open my laptop and continue working on something. It's just, I don't know, there's just like that extra comfort at home. And I can also do my house stuff at the same time, so I don't have to come home. I don't have to come home and fix this. I can fix this and then just open my laptop or things like that. So
we have to find the positives where we can in everything that's going on. So it's it can be advantageous to be at home as well.
Yeah, infinite cups of teas as well.
Did you consider other colleges as well? I mean, I know you were kind of sold on Maynooth, but did you look around and see what there are other colleges that maybe?
I did. I checked out different courses, like, but there was also a robotics in Limerick and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm from Kildare, and that really
made sense for you, really.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, from the get-go, Maynooth was kind of the winner, for me anyway, because I mean, travel-wise and then I got to know so many people as well when I was kind of during my application process, and even during my time, I've gotten to know so many people. I regularly talk to some of the lecturers, and I made friends in my first year group that I started with, and then I have to repeat modules, but I also made friends with that new group as well. So
no shortage.
Fairly connected at this stage. Like nobody sees the fact that you're a mature student. In our certificate in science, we had people ranging from I think one student was 20 and one student was 60, but we'd all sit in the one group and just talk about the same stuff. So
absolutely,
it just kind of fades away. You don't really concentrate on the fact that someone's a mature student, even though a lot of mature students are really kind of self-conscious about that. I found like some people last year in the certificate in science would talk about, they're a bit self-conscious about being a mature student in general, and it's just like, well, nobody really notices. We all just we all have to get the same work done, and we all have the same goals. So it's common goals,
common tie.
I'd say.
Like, it's a few years down the road, but do you have a master plan about what you'd like to do with your degree?
I don't have a solid plan just yet, but to be honest, it'll be so cool to be a lecturer or something one day. Like, I mean, that'd be really cool. Like, I often thought about it, because I like teaching things, especially if someone doesn't get something and then I show them how to do it. It's like, and I also solidified the fact that I know it.
Yeah.
And I have to taught somebody else it, and it really helps me remember things a lot more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I could be a lecturer one day, or something to do with research, maybe that'd be the coolest thing ever. But that's really up to me.
A few projects to do between now and then, but that's that's great. Do you have just to conclude, do you have any words of advice that you'd like to pass on to, whether it be a mature student or somebody who's considering robotics? Just any words of advice?
It's fun, to be honest. It's just, you get what you put in out of it. You can, if you work hard, you can build your own stuff at home, and I mean, all the resources are there. The lecturers will guide you through your projects. If you're working on a drone and you need to figure it out, the lecturers will tell you and help you along the way with that. There's support from everywhere, and if you work hard, everybody can do it. I had a foundation level maths, for example. I was foundation level maths, and now I'm doing calculus. So everybody can do it. Wow. And it's all about just taking that leap and going with it. That's if that's advice.
Well, that's certainly a very positive note to conclude on. And thank you very much, Kevin, for sharing your story with us so far today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.